Hey everybody, Woodrick Hex here doing a live draft commentary on Hex TCG MMO. My focus for this video is going to be help new players, those of you checking out drafts, maybe drafted into other TCGs, or maybe never even heard of draft. It's going to be a live commentary, so it's not going to be perfect information, but hopefully you get to see lots of different examples, different decision points to get a little idea of what's going on, and so you can navigate the wilds of draft as it is during your next draft. For those of you familiar with Hex, will be clear what my pick is here. This is one of the best cards, period, in set 3. 5/6 body that can fight 2 troops. It means that it can fight and survive a battle with most troops. What fighting is it's not in combat stage, it just does its damage to another troop, and that troop does damage to it. The fact that it has 6 toughness means it lives most of those battles. Also, it's worth, I don't know, 300 plat or something, which is pretty good, which is more than a pack. And when you're drafting Swiss, you generally want to rare draft a little more because the max you can only win 3 packs. So you want to get your profits from your cards. This pick, the important thing to realize is that you don't necessarily, I'm not necessarily in wild just because I drafted a bomb. In wild, it's only pick 1. I have no idea what's open. You really don't want to be fighting over resources too hard. You want to draft the archetype that's open. An archetype is a playstyle, a theme, etc. So the next best card for this deck would be Smashidon. Though Hatchery Cultivator is excellent and Pain Breeder is excellent. So is Ashwood Blademaster. 2 completely different archetypes. This card, since Wild Blood is, or Wild Ruby is a theme in set 3, probably going to pick the Ashwood, though just ignoring pick 1 and going into Spiders wouldn't be too horrible, especially when you see things like I would have had back-to-back Cultivators. But there's a lot of good cards in set 3, so I don't know. Here, we're probably going to just keep on keeping on. Generally, you're playing 5-drop troops in ramp. And so cards like Fiery Indignation, which by themselves are quite good, deal 2 damage to target troop. Often, when you really need to deal 5, you'll be able to. Because when you have a 5-drop, it gets 3 more. Thus, 5 damage. Removal is paramount in draft. You have to be able to answer your opponent's stuff. So it's kind of like rule number 1. Probably it goes bombs, removal. It's kind of like the pick order, general pick order. Then, good cards. So I would love a Lyricist because I'm probably going to be in ramp. I'd love to be able to play my Krogosaur early. Though maybe not. Krogosaur kind of is situational in that. You don't really want to play him unless you can kill 2 troops and live. That's like the best case. Okay, cool. So we don't see any spider cards. It makes me feel better about not picking those great spider cards. This pick here, best card in the pack is probably Dream Smoke. This card's really good. The only issue is Wild Sapphire isn't always the greatest combo. It's definitely up there, but it's not like tier 1 in that they're not quite synergistic enough. Winter Moon is a draft champion and an archetype and a constructed champion, but it's a little RNG. It's a very specific deck type. It's very skill testing if you're a new drafter to do it right. Here, I think I'm just going to pick a solid 5-drop. I feel fairly good about it. Caribou Healer is great, and then it's a 4/4 for 5. You gain some health, which is really important in those aggro matchups. And yeah, so interesting enough, we're seeing some good spider cards. Now, I may start thinking Winter Moon, and I may start thinking spiders. If I see any of those awesome spider cards that we past wheeled, I'm going to jump into it. It's a little early to assume that ramp is being drafted. But Red Fur isn't that great, and Rune Web, it can go in Winter Moon. Maybe hopefully we'll get to do a Winter Moon. I can explain some of the intricacies of Winter Moon. It's not a straightforward deck at all. And it's tough because there's so many champions that are great late game in set 3 that Winter Moon is a late game deck, but in that you're pushing card advantage and things like that. But it sometimes making a 7/7 or hatching a bunch of eggs just clearly better than getting one card, maybe here and there. So anyway, more on that later. So this is interesting. I really don't want to play ramp, mainly because all my other video series have been on ramp. It's kind of been how the cookies crumbled. But so if I'm thinking, if I just want to ditch my first 4 picks and go spiders, Paraphigy's great. If I want to try to think Winter Moon, Windboard Disciple's great. Probably it'd be a little insane just to ditch Wild with 2 quality cards here, and actually 2 quality ramp cards too. I just think I mainly just don't want to play ramp, so I'm a little biased. Here's a solid 5-drop, and a 5-drop matters deck. The fact that this is a 3/5 with reach and steadfast makes it very difficult for your opponent to deal with. Also wears any kind of prophecy buff or any augmentation very well. The vigilance is really key. It's a defensive card that can be offensive, and Wild really needs answers to flyers. It's kind of its classic weakness. This pick, not really seeing anything that's 2 main deckable. Veteran Raider may make the deck, though I doubt it. Again, I kind of would happily get... See, here's my dilemma, right? 2 Runewed Infiltrators, super late. That's a super signal. I'm not getting crazy good wild cards, but I'm definitely getting good enough wild cards. Not getting Ruby, that's for sure. So I think maybe I may still hedge into Winter Moon. The reason why Rune Webs are good in Winter Moon is that they're cheap. They're often killed because they're a threat, and games typically go long. So they're killed because they make eggs. Eggs are annoying. They're just threats. They're inevitability. It's a threat to your opponent. And you want things that die early because you want to use the Winter Moon's champion ability to push them back into your deck and do all sorts of fun stuff. Late game. Also, just having the spider threats and having a late game deck is a good thing because you're going to be making spiders and hopefully winning with those spiders. So here, the Psionic Arcalite. It's a fine card. Again, not giving up too much by doing a speculative pick of Staggering Blast. It's an excellent card in ramp. It's an excellent card in aggro. Pretty much any deck that can cast it is more than happy to. It hits most things. It actually kills a lot of stuff. There's just a lot of cards with 1 toughness in this format. So Lightning Brave's cool. So we are looking a little more Winter Moon. It makes me kind of happy. Just to do something different. That's my baby in the background. I have no idea how loud that's coming through. Probably really loud. So Psionic Arcalite. Yeah. They're doubling up on him or her, mainly because it's a good body. It stabilizes. It helps. We do have 2 Rune Webs. Late game, mill is a thing. She's talking up a storm. I don't know. I'm still kind of like backdooring, maybe playing spiders, so I'll take the Vicious Vivisector. But clearly the Coyote is the better card. So Winter Moon aggro, or Winter Moon fatty, call it Winter Moon flying fatties. Basically, you end up doing tempo cards. You want cheap actions, but preferably quick actions that can get pushed into your crypt and then reoccur later mid-game when you really need them. Entangling Webs is definitely one of those cards. Um, you're going to be playing big things. You get to exhaust your opponent's blockers. Pretty sweet. Frigid Buffalo, whatever. I guess we could have taken the 1/1 as fodder, but we'll get lots of other cards that would fill fodder role that actually do something. So yeah, this is a deck. This is a deck. I want it to be in spiders. I don't know if you could tell. Um, but I guess if you're wondering whether or not you should go in the Winter Moon, getting a Windsinger is pretty nice. So going Crocosaur first pack, Windsinger pack 2, pretty busted. Um, though I may be incentivized not even to play Winter Moon, may just go ramp. Because I want to play my Crocosaurs and Windsingers and 5-drops and stuff. I haven't been past a whole ton of ramp, so. But regardless, like I'm already up. I mean, this card probably went up after the championships. It was already at like 1,000 plat. It's probably like 14, 15. It'll be like one of those chase legendaries next set. It's already a chase legendary. Anyway, let's pick it and then talk about it. I'm always worried I'm gonna like press the wrong button. So this guy here, if you don't know, this card's like a build around and constructed, but in limited, it's arguably even better. So your resources replenish at the start of each opposing champion's turn. So you have quick actions. This is your man. When an opposing champion draws a card, you may draw a card. Just card advantage on a difficult to deal with threat. Like the card's all around all star. So what does that mean? I guess when you're playing Winter Moon, you want to play more cards like Arcane Focus. Though I'm a little hesitant to go into pure Winter Moon type draft strategy. I find them to be too RNG for my taste. I'd rather just play big things and then make them fly and then maybe get back a big thing later. We are incentivized, undoubtedly, to play Diamond or to play Sapphire Wild, so I guess we just pick good stuff. Arcane Focus, probably a better pick there. Not gonna lie. In that I just end up cutting sideboarding Caribou Healers just because I'd rather have cards like Rotwoods. So in this pack, do we need the ramp? Yeah, we do need the ramp. I may actually just go ramp Diamond. Or I'm sorry, I keep saying Diamond. Sapphire Wild. Ramp. By taking Lyricist and such. This is a fine card. This is a fine card, especially in Winter Moon. But for the reason being that I would like to just want to play my stuff before my opponent can stabilize, right? This is a great card too in long game strategies. But kind of going, I think whether I play Winter Moon or not, I'm going to be happy to have this mana accelerant. I'm playing some big bodies. Look at all these staggering blasts. An argument can be made too, just to be playing Ruby just for all these staggering blasts. Like that's too many staggering blasts. Staggering blasts is premier way to win games in any kind of troop-based strategy, which is basically every strategy. And draft is just it's troop-based. There's just not enough cards to make control decks really. Even your control decks are probably running 12 troops, you know. So anyway, Thunderfield Seer is that type of Winter Moon card in that it dies early, it's played early, and get into your graveyard early, or crypt rather, and your actions gain you card advantage. Sweet. So still don't know if we're all in on Winter Moon, but we're not we ain't crying either if that's where we end up, because it's definitely the deck we're drafting. So I seem apprehensive about going Winter Moon because it's a complex strategy and it's not necessarily clear when it's good. Because really the chief advantage you gain, besides the access to making your big fat things evasive, with cards like Windborn and such, and gaining the tempo war with cards like Throwback, is that you gain a card when card you draw out of your crypt is redrawn. You gain an extra card. Anyway, so these are all great stuff, but I want to make sure I have my ramp base. And Skydancer is also a good card on itself, and it can give me big resources for my stuff like, Crocosaurs and my 6-drops, my 5 and 6-drops. The Ruby would have been good too. This is a one time when I would pick a Rites of the Tranquil Dream over these good top end aggressive or top end power finishers in ramp. If I am going Winter Moon though, I might not. I might not still. The thing is, the ability to make 7/7s is so good when you have the support for it, like with Sky Dancer and Lift Lyricist, that I don't mind. I don't mind just picking big things and foregoing possibly drawing cards. But if I was for sure Winter Moon, Rights would be the card. I think I'm still gonna pick it here. A little bit of a panic pick, but my thought was, well, my top end's already pretty good with Krogsaur and Windsinger. And Windsinger's not going to be that hard to cast. So I'm probably going to play 18 shards. 9 Sapphire, 9 Wild. But anyway, this card is an all-star in this color archetype. It's a 2/2 flyer for 3, which is a nice threat on its own, but it makes Crocosaurs fly, or Caribou Healers fly, or just makes big threats. Good card. We knew we were Winter Moon, Scrap Armiger would probably be good, but I think I'm still going to go Ramp. I've won drafts with Winter Moon, and I've just been miserably frustrated. I had a deck full of Winter Moon cards, and I just wasn't hitting I wasn't hitting like I thought I should be hitting because of RNG. So I just kind of like more consistent decks. Just my opinion. I've played some superb Winter Moon decks. It's just not my style. So instead of doubling up on the Thunderfield, we do have quite a good Winter Moon deck. Because I think if throwbacks start wheeling, maybe that would incentivize us to play Winter Moon. But whatever, we're still a ramp deck. Merry Minstrels ramp. How many elves do we have? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. If Wild's open, we're probably gonna get more Sky Dancers and at least one more Lift Lyricist. In which case, this card's not as important. It's like too much ramp. Because you don't want to draw ramp late game. It's just kind of useless. But what else would I be picking? Probably a Lightning Brave. But I'd rather take that slot up with Windborn. Yeah, we'll take a Minstrels. It's nice to know that we have, at the very least, enough ramp. Definitely have some good ramp targets. Things we'd like to get out early. May not end up playing Rune Webs. Basically just having a core of ramp cards and then a core of solid top end cards. Be more than happy to play an Oculus. This card is really good. It's underappreciated for sure. The fact that it can't be dealt with and it has to be dealt with when you're not attacking makes it a huge threat of activation. And a 4/4 flyer is huge in this format. Probably most formats, but this format is particularly good. So what is this deck doing? I really like cards like Tangling Webs in this kind of archetype. I don't know if I'm going that Winter Moony. I don't know if I'm going Rune Web. You can see like just simplifying the deck is kind of important. Fly in the air, make fatties, then make those fatties fly, or just win with the fatties, or win with a bomb. Right? Simplify things. Obviously, we need removal. Want to hate draft this card? Yeah, a little bit. We have 2 Psionic Orc. I don't think I'm going to go all in on Mill. That's not a horrible idea. There's some little combo combo-y stuff you can do in Wild Sapphire. Yeah, there's a good top end. Also helps us fix. We'll stay more consistent. Oftentimes on turn 3, um, discarding this for Wild is correct because you're just trying to curve out. You missed your ramp and you just need you don't want to be stuck with a handful of 5 drops. All right. So the Sapphire cards I wanted didn't wheel. We already have a backdoor to a pretty Winter Moony strategy if we just don't end up getting more ramp. Could be a good control card, especially in Winter Moon. I think that card was made for Winter Moon. Alright, so I don't think we're playing this. I'm not going to jump in the Ruby or Blood for that. Third, Rune Web's pretty sweet. I don't even know if we're playing one. I would like a throwback. I would like 4 throwbacks on a deck like this. But it's a quality 2/4 flyer for 4. That's hopefully going to get back cards like Entangling Webs, even Rites of the Tranquil Dream twice is pretty strong. It's an evasive threat. Playing quality quick actions twice is pretty good. Here, I think we need to actually pick removal. We're gonna get pretty nice. There's a nice Ruby removal, but that ship has sailed. Check out my curve a little bit. Make sure we're not just getting dominated early game. Predatory Prey. Pretty much just have to pick a Predatory Prey. Purple probably should be the pick, but I want to increase my threat density. Cripple in a deck that just wants to win through attacking isn't as good, versus a deck that wins by staying alive, which is more Winter Moon. I don't really think we're Winter Moon at this point. I think we're just going to go ramp. A totally different strategy when you pair it with Sapphire, but well, at least seem to be coming around a dime a dozen. Is it wrong just to play 5 of them? Kind of want like 5 cripples if I'm going to be playing Winter Moon, or 5 throwbacks, something that I can keep cycling and gaining benefit while drawing cards. It's kind of the idea. Epiphany is incredibly strong in Winter Moon, man, especially late game. Turns like 8, 9. Feels so broken. But Storm Drummer, awesome. Winter Moon card. It's cheap. It dies early. Gives benefit to your stuff. Alright, so if all these wheel and we gobble them up, then yeah, we'll go Winter Moon. There's no reason to decide at this point. This could be great as a 3/6 or 2/5 flyer. That's pretty much what I use them as. Yeah, strategy could just be play Winter Moon or Windsinger. But I just don't want to get too carried away with being like, oh, well, we're Sapphire Wild, we have to go Winter Moon. Like, Winter Moon has its disadvantages for sure, especially against like Might Singer. Unless well, I don't know. It's tricky. It's tricky. I think we've talked enough about the 2 archetypes to hopefully allow you to form your own opinion. Here, we probably just want another Wingborn Acolyte. I'm really banking on these throwbacks to the wheel. I don't want to pass an Acolyte or Windborn Disciple at this point. Mainly because they're so key in this color combo, in this shard combo, that it's typically how you're just winning games. You're just making your Smash-a-Dons fly. And your opponent's like, well, how the heck am I supposed to deal with a 5/5 flyer? Good game, right? Um, they may actually incentivize me to get not play Oculus, so that I can kind of fix my curve a little bit, a little high. We only got 2 ramp cards. We kind of knew that was going to happen though from our signals pack 1. Um, I'd like to hate draft these cards. So this is a quality 2 drop. Not in its stats or anything, but the fact that it's quick sometimes allows it to trade up, trade it for something better. So what I mean by trade up, and then that intel, being able to see your opponent's hand is quite good. So I feel pretty confident the card's going to make it. This card will make it if we're Winter Moon. Let's check our curve. There's a throwback. This card's really great when you socket it when you're playing Ruby, but throwback's where we want to be, kind of regardless of whether we're Ramp or Winter Moon. Way better in Winter Moon that you get to cycle it. We may not actually need you. Just 1, 2, 3, 3, 4 actions that cycle. Let's see what comes on the pipe. It's good to have one of these. Though this is a nice engine for Winter Moon. If we don't have Winter Moon, I don't think the rest of those throwbacks are going to make it. So we got 1 and then 2. Still not quite Winter Moon yet. It's a density of quick actions, so you do need to prioritize them. And it wasn't my preferred strategy, so I was going to go Winter Moon if those quick actions wheeled. It's kind of to summarize why I was apprehensive. Go ahead and take a Return to the Soil here to deal with Psychic Torment. The fact that we didn't see any means someone probably snatched them all up. It's a good sack outlet, good stabilizer against aggro. But yeah, evasion wins games. Threats on the ground, threats in the air, and some tempo plays, and some ramp. Probably means Might Singer as a champion. I wouldn't really call this a ramp deck. It's kind of just more good stuff tempo deck. I guess my name I just gave to it. Maybe we play Epiphany. I feel like maybe we're playing another Winter Moon deck. I'm glad we got those two Windborns. It really is pretty key. I'll go ahead and just take another Return to the Soil. I've played people that just played 3 Psychic Torments and kind of just said, well, how are you going to win, dude? Good luck. Stinkard Soup for the mirror. You ended up taking out their 7/7 with your 1/2 elf. It's a 2-for-1, but elf isn't really that relevant anymore. Yeah, whatever. Buffalo. Did have it played against me the other day. Felt kind of bad for my opponent. He looked at Buffalo and went, yeah, man. Get on my deck. Tears. Hopefully this video doesn't crap out. Using Cam Studios. Always a risk using free software. Let's build this deck a little bit, talk a little bit about what I'm trying to do and why. I don't think Scrap Ramager is going to make it. I don't think. Okay. So we're threat dense. We got a little bit of ramp. What decks do we just die against? How do we deal 7/7s? We fly above them and jump block, I guess, or temple them out. Having Entangling Webs, Throwback, and Rites of the Dream are reasons to go Winter Moon. But we have ways to bring those back at least once with Cyclone Shaman. What do we make you? Probably a 3/6 default. We have enough evasion. And yeah, we're definitely on the ramp end in that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, 8. And this will probably be cycled. So we kind of built a ramp deck without enough ramp. What happens if we trim things down and go Winter Moon? Probably don't need you as much. So you're a great target late game for these guys. Um, Probably don't play one of you. You're good. Because we're kind of tempo-y. We play one of you. We play one of you. We play one of you. And then what? We probably want to play an Epiphany. And then what? We just play 17 shards and hope for the best. They play 17 with triple Crocosaur and double on the King of Olcloth. Olkanoff. Hmm. So if I had like 5 throwbacks, I'd be more incentivized to play Winter Moon. This card is kind of meh. Card advantage is good. This is most likely going to hit something huge and gain advantage and cycle them in my deck. This card we want to cycle all day in this deck. Probably going to throw you out, even though you would help. Um, yeah. Maybe I'll do a Winter Moon deck just because I'm making a video. Um, just looking for something good that will cycle. Or I could just go ramp. I forgot I had another elf. 1, 2. Hmm. I really like Lysinger. Dream, I don't think is quite worth a card if you're not playing Winter Moon. No, that card's pretty good. Okay. Hmm. And all right. Definitely want to play 18 shards, even though I have a lot of early plays. Interesting. I play this guy just to ditch things into my yard and cycle them back. I mean, even if it's a shard, it's worth it, right? Get that free card. So troop count up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It's a lot of troops. A lot of them are just kind of fodder for the Winter Moon, but it's not bad. It's probably going to have more utility than this card, though Intel's pretty huge. We have enough threats. Problem is, I'm thinking about how this deck plays in the mirror. Obviously, Windsinger. I'd rather have a Windsinger than a 7/7. Um, but I mean, not the mirror and versus um, Might Singer. It's kind of the matchup that I'm thinking about. Huh. The problem I don't like about this card is that it's just kind of slow and clunky. The 1/2 body for 3 just feels a little scary, and how fast things can develop in this game seems a little worthless. Am I playing any spider cards? Any? I don't think. Um, Playing an infiltrator, I don't think it's a bad idea. Is it better than consistency on our resources or an Epiphany late game? Epiphany late game's pretty good. Hmm. Maybe we'll just go Epiphany. Little bum not playing spiders. So, yep, here's the deck. Definitely could go in different directions. If we feel like our rune webs or game 2 are just going to get through most games, and we'll play them. For opponents particularly aggressive, we can play more of our cheaper stuff. If we're playing against spirits, well, definitely bring this guy in because we want to know if they have abominates or not. But we can maybe even bring in some cards like Gilded Leer and stuff like that to deal with their super giant thing they made. All right, so we're gonna go Wintermoon because it's a video. I think the ramp deck would have been just as good. Um, a lot of cards we wouldn't play that could be potentially weak, like Thunderfield Seer. If we don't hit that card, it's kind of, if we don't hit an action that's relevant, just does nothing. Epiphany we definitely wouldn't play. It's just too fast of a format to play cards like that. It costs 4 and you only gain really 1 card. And then Tangling Webs we would play. Throwback we would play. Rights we probably wouldn't play. We'd just rather have another 5-drop. And then the rest of the stuff, I don't know. Lightning Brave is one of those things where it's like, to bring in the main is questionable because if they have answers to it, it's just kind of a bad card. But it's so good when they don't. It's just a really cheap, cheap way to get through a lot of damage consistently. But yeah, we got some cool stuff, man. We definitely have a Wintermoon plan. You can look down at your 1-drops and tell if a deck should be Wintermoon or not. Typically, in this shard combo. But we got the Windsinger. We may just be overthinking this. We may just have 2 bombs that are just going to win most games anyway. But let's see if we forgot any sockets or anything. I've drafted hundreds of times, and I still have trouble evaluating Wintermoon strength and limited. So take that for what it is. But there's some 2 months ago I thought it was the most underdrafted, undervalued archetype ever. Now I'm like, it's pretty RNG. It's just one of those. It's very easy to evaluate it based on your results, in the short term. So just quick looking at, we do have a little bit of ramp. So these all, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Look like a pretty balanced deck, even if we don't hit the Wintermoon stuff. Like we got big bodies, we got ways to interact with our opponent's stuff, we have evasion. So I'm feeling pretty good. We'll go ahead and save it and sign off. Resource base. I'm a huge fan of the 18 shards in this format. Even though we do have ramp, you're not always going to draw that ramp. So it's nice to be able to have a game with your average draws. Be able to play your stuff, kind of the name of the game. And yeah, now we're going to save. All right, if you like the video, please. I didn't get it by. If you like the video, please, subscribe or like or leave a comment saying something you liked or didn't like. It helps motivate me to do it more, and it's nice just to interact with you guys. It's basically why I do this. So, hope all is well, and yeah, have a great day.